Hey friends, welcome to the Friday check-in with Happily Even After Betrayal. I'm so glad you're here. And actually, I'm recording this a day early because I'm headed to San Diego. So I'll be spending Friday at a all-day coaching event with my favorite coach, one of my favorite coaches, Jody Moore, who I've done a lot of training with. As a coach, I also keep up on all training and keeping my mind in a good, healthy space so I can help my clients, because I think that's important. The more in tune I am and the more healed I am, the better I can help my clients. And so I think it's always important to continue learning and growing. I'm hopefully enjoying sunny weather in San Diego. Anyways, this week on my podcast, I talked about how control masks fear and blocks healing. And it's so true because oftentimes, whether we're in a relationship where we feel very controlled or we then become very controlling after we discover the affair, it can cause lots of problems because the truth is we can't control anyone else besides ourselves. And the sooner you figure that out and recognize that, of course, we can influence people, we can make requests, but ultimately, the only person we can control is ourselves. So that's why healing happens inside of us. We have to go inward and decide, okay, what do I want to do? And we think they make me so mad. Of course, we have thoughts when they say really hurtful things, but we've got to decide, okay, are we going to walk away from the situation? How are we going to handle it? Because ultimately it's our responsibility. And that takes practice. That takes a regulated nervous system. That takes us knowing, are we triggered? And if we are, what are we going to do about it? How are we going to handle it? So it just takes a lot of awareness. And when we're in the middle of betrayal, most of us go into fight, flight, or freeze, and we become numb. We shut down. We're not even feeling our feelings. In order to heal, we've got to feel our feelings and learn this very hard lesson. Of course, nobody likes to be controlled. And some of us, we are very particular. We like things done a certain way. So we have to recognize, is it more important for us to have the dishwasher loaded in a certain way more than it is to have help loading the dishwasher? And if it feels better to have our dishes loaded a certain way, then we're going to have to be the ones to load the dishwasher. We can't pawn it off on someone else and expect them to do it like we want them to do it. First of all, that's not very kind and it's not helpful and it's not realistic because we all are different people. We all have different ways. It's a hard lesson, but it's an important lesson. So I hope you listen to the podcast. There's a lot going on in our world. There's a lot of hard. And the thing I've realized that there could be a lot of tragedy going on. And first of all, I don't want you to feel bad if you're like, I have a friend I walk with and she's like, I can't even turn on the news because I'm just trying to survive day to day, taking care of my kids. She's in a 7-year divorce battle over money. And hopefully no one else's divorce is this long because it's nauseatingly long. Her former husband is, I have no nice words to say about him, but it's been awful. And so if you feel that way, if you're like, you know what, I feel like I maybe should worry about what's going on outside of my little house, but I have no energy or capacity, that's totally normal, right? You're just trying to survive in your own circle with your own children, with your own life, trying to go to work and clean the house, all the things we have to do. So first of all, understand it's okay. There's other people that are in a different space that can do that. So some coaching moments of the week. First of all, a lot of you are stuck in judgment of yourself as well as your spouse, but really focus when you start judging yourself for either how you react, how you feel, that you aren't able to do the laundry. I have the sweetest client and she told me yesterday, she's decided I'm using paper plates and paper silverware, which is brilliant. I was so proud of her for doing that because she was just at her wit's end. For whatever reason, dishes seemed to be the tipping point of her stress. And so that alleviated so much weight off of her from taking care of her kids, working full time. She has some health issues and then the dishes and her getting divorced, right? And as well as healing from betrayal, like that's a lot. And so if it's dishes or if it's laundry, you're like, I can't do laundry. There are plenty of laundry services out there if you could afford that, right? So just get creative. Don't judge yourself. When you judge yourself, it keeps you stuck. You cannot move past judgment. And so just be onto yourself when you catch yourself judging you like, oh, I should have done this. No, you shouldn't have. You just didn't. And it's okay. And have so much compassion because what you're going through is really hard. Betrayal is a lot of heavy negative emotion. Another thing is we think if our spouse changed and was different, then we could feel better. But I just want you to know you can feel better regardless if they change. You can start changing you. And that's the only person you have control over changing. So decide, okay, what could I do? How could I think about this differently? How can I take care of what I need? And so anytime you find yourself pointing to your spouse, if they stopped doing this, then I could feel happy. And it could be you have to have a boundary, right? You have to create a boundary, but the boundary doesn't say you have to stop yelling at me. The boundary says if you yell, I am going to leave the room. That's what a boundary is. It's what you will do. If you do this, I will do this. Okay, because you can't tell someone you need to stop yelling at me. You can, but they may or may not listen to you. They might get more mad and yell harder, louder. And just remember, a boundary is a request. Will you please stop having an affair? And they may say no. That's what my former spouse did. I asked him. I really still wanted to save our marriage after 26 years and multiple affairs. And I said, I need you to stop having the affair. And he said no. And I said, okay, I'm done. And that moment, I'm really proud of me for that moment because that was hard. And also, I think in that moment, I had so much clarity, like, okay, my marriage is done. He is not changing. And it was a moment that I will never forget. And I'm really grateful for. I'm grateful he was finally honest with me. Because in the past, he was like, yes, I'll stop. And he maybe did, but then he would find someone else, right? The last thing I want to share is I have a few people that have reached out to me to get help, and they're like, but I'm too old. And I think it's interesting that they think they're too old to heal. I just want you to know you're not too old or too young, right? I don't know if people think they're too young, but you're not too old to heal. I don't care if you're in your 70s. Change is always possible. We're always progressing in our life. And so you can always heal. Now, it may be harder to heal if you're trying to heal in your toxic marriage, your living environment, but you can start changing your thoughts. You can start at least working on it and decide maybe then you'll know, okay, I need to leave. Or you're like, I'm going to stay because I don't want to get divorced in my 80s, but I am just going to figure out a way to navigate it. You're not too old to heal, I promise. Some things going on in my coaching business is I have another Spring Forward reset. If you're curious about coaching, if you're wondering, is this going to be helpful? I've created a 6-week video course, which teaches you all the tools that I used to help me heal from betrayal, and I want them to help you. I have that video course, and then you also get 2 private coaching sessions with me because I want you to experience the power of coaching. I have my own coach as well. I believe in coaching so much. I also believe in therapy. So if you have a therapist, it's a compatible companion with therapy. It doesn't contradict. I may have some different ideas or thoughts. Maybe your therapist hasn't experienced betrayal and I have experienced betrayal. So I'm going to have a much better understanding of what you're feeling and experiencing. I offer my clients an app called Voxer, and they can message me anytime and they can get real-time coaching. And I have a package that I called the Spring Forward Reset. So if you're curious, and if you're like, I wonder if this would be for me, buy it, get it. I promise the 6 weeks could change your life. Like learning these tools will change your life like they have mine. And I know they can help you. I'm doing another March bingo card. I really like the bingo card. I think it's fun. They're just little bite-sized ways to help with your healing. It's free. You could make it fun. Healing doesn't have to be a big production. It can happen in little moments. So download the bingo card. I'm going to put the links so you can get that, as well as a free coaching call with me. If you're like, I don't know, I still want to talk to you. I still want you to hear my story. So if you think, can I help you? Because maybe you're not in a place that you're ready to start healing. And so you can sign up for a free coaching call with me. Have a beautiful day. And I'm so glad you're here. If you have anything you want me to talk about, a topic or anything, you can email me at hello@lifecoachjen.com. Or if you have a question, I answer anyone's questions that sends me. I will answer that for you. I am here to help you, and I want you to experience an amazing life. And life, I know, feels heavy and hard. You're stuck in the rumination and the becoming a detective, and that's just a miserable place to be. I know, because I was there for a long time. Have a great day. Have a beautiful Friday, and I will talk to you next week.